What's up, everybody? Nick and Hayden here from Proform, talking to you about the pickleball workshop over at Choice Fitness. So this is going to be a little bit of a warm-up and then a little workout that you could do for, before playing pickleball for the warm-up, and then the workout can be mixed in throughout the week just to, level up your performance on the court, as well as just help with injury prevention and all that kind of stuff. So first we're going to start with the warm-up. So great way to start is going to be to do what's called the pivot matrix. So it's going to work a little bit of single leg balance. We're going to get the feet and ankles warmed up, hips, spine, shoulders, all the big joints. Okay, so with this movement, we always have one leg that's stationary and then one leg is moving. So that's your pivot point right there, that pivot foot. Okay, so first we're going to go forward and backward. This is going to be 3 different movements in one exercise basically. So forward and backward, as you go forward and backward, you're actually going to move those arms. So when I step forward, I reach up and back. And when I step back, I reach down and back. Forward and back, forward and up, down and back, okay? Show you from the side here. So here we want to get a big reach overhead with that extension of the spine. And then this way, we want to get this bending and rounding of the spine. We want the spine to move here because we want to warm it up, get some blood flowing to all those tissues. Okay, then we go side to side. Same thing, I'll keep that left foot as the stationary foot, the plant foot. All right, so I'm stepping out and across. So I'm going side to side. What my arms and trunk are going to do is reach back toward the stationary leg. So now I'm warming up. On this leg, I'm getting a little groin stretch here. Here on that same leg, I'm getting a little outer hip stretch. And then spine, I'm getting that to side bend. Side bend, and these arms are coming up and over. All right, so that'll stretch everything up and down the side of the hips, legs, trunk. And then the last one is rotation. So then same leg will be stationary. I'm gonna twist open and then twist forward and across. Okay, so I'm gonna get arms and trunk to twist with that leg that's moving. This is a great one to warm up hips and spine. Also get those shoulders to start moving in these directions that you'll be using on the pickleball court, all right? So obviously you gotta do both sides on that one. Usually we would have people do about 15 each direction per side. Hayden's gonna take you through the next one.
So now we're moving into the knee hug. So what I'm doing here is I'm stretching the glutes and the areas behind the back of the legs. So what I'm gonna do is I'm pulling my knee up towards my chest, keeping my other leg slightly straight, switching sides, pulling that other leg up towards my chest. I'll show you from the side here, keeping everything nice and straight, pull a knee up, take a couple steps in between, and switch sides.
All right, then we go into the quad pull. So now we want to stretch. Hayden was just helping me stretch out the backside. Now we want to stretch the front a little bit. So here, boom, if you can reach with that hand, grab there. We can get a nice stretch of the opposite side with a reach. And then if you want, you can add a little calf raise just to get that foot ankle involved. Switch sides, boom, there with the reach. I can show you from the front here. And if you can't reach with that hand, like, say you've had a knee injury or knee surgery or anything like that, you can just bend it as much as you can and still get that reach, right? So we're still gonna get as far as we can with that bend actively if you can't reach that with your hand.
Okay, so now we're gonna move into the figure 4. With this one, I like to go under the kneecap and over the shin. That's a little more comfortable on the knee, and I'm gonna pull straight up towards my chest. So under the knee, over the shin, pull straight up, take a couple steps in between, and then switch sides. Once again, if you can't really pull that knee super high up towards the chest, you can bend over slightly, pop that ankle up on the other shin, sit back a little bit, and then move forward, okay? So from the side, once again, under the knee, over the shin, pulling up to the chest, and if that's not enough range of motion there, sit down a little bit, push the knee down, take a couple steps in between, switch.
Yeah, and like Hayden just said, a couple steps in between each. So this is more of a dynamic movement. So we're not holding stretches. You're going into the stretch and then taking a couple steps, next stretch, right? So we're really trying to get the blood flowing and warm the tissues up, maybe even break a sweat before we start playing. Next one's gonna be elephant walk. All right, so it's gonna really get the hamstrings. So here you're gonna go kick one leg out in front, and then we're gonna shift our hips back. So if you had your hands on the front of your hips, those hands push your hips back. You're gonna feel that stretch of the hamstring of the front leg. All right, and then you can kind of sweep the arms down. That would be the elephant's trunk there. All right, so that's gonna be sweep there, and then same thing, couple steps, kick the other leg out, sweep. So from the side view, you can see the hip shifts back here, and then sweep down, keeping chest up, right? So we get a little bit more of the stretch through this backside, and then same thing, other side, get that hamstring loosened up.
Okay, now we have the march. I'm sure we've all done some type of marching before, but what I'm gonna do is it's gonna be opposite leg goes up and opposite arm comes forward. So left leg, right arm, right leg, left arm, right? So we're just doing a march, get those knees up. We'll go forward and we'll go backwards there. Once again, make sure we're getting those knee up and that arm across. So up, taking a couple steps, moving forward, and then moving backwards, okay? If you're uncomfortable moving backwards, you can just turn around and come the other direction facing forwards.
Now, right into the next march, you go march with a cross connect. So that starts the nice rhythm of your marching. Now we're gonna go cross connect, so we're gonna get a little more trunk rotation in it, just because with pickleball, you're getting a lot of this twisting and rotating. So here, same thing, you know, opposite arm, opposite leg. So if my left leg comes up, my right arm's gonna go up, but now I'm going to bring elbow over knee or thigh. So it's gonna be there, next step, over. So we're getting this big twist from the side view, same thing, boom, twist. And don't worry about on this one, with the first march, you stand a little more upright. This one, you can get a little bit of that crunch if you want, just to warm the spine up even more.
Okay, to finish up, we're gonna move into 3 different types of skips. So the first one is just gonna be a forward skip, right? Just kind of how you would do when you were a kid. We're gonna bring that right back, okay? So adding a little bit of rhythm into that march. I'm just bouncing off one leg, skipping forward, and we will go back, but if you're not comfortable going backwards, turn around and face the other direction. I'll show you that one from the side. Once again, just popping off that foot a little bit, bringing the knees and the arms up. Kind of like we're doing a little bit of a run. The next one is gonna be lateral skip. So I'm moving sideways. So similar concept, I'm gonna be pushing my weight towards the other side, right? So a little bit of a bounce, push off that leg and move sideways, okay? Facing the same direction. We're gonna go down and back. The last one is gonna be rotational or a crossover skip. So similar to the karaoke, but we're gonna add a little bit of a bounce and a little bit of a twist of the hips and the spine into this one, similar to how you would do on the pickleball court, okay? So crossing over, push, push and rotate the hips, crossing over, push and rotate the hips.
And part of the reason we will go backwards on the skips and all that kind of stuff is because you're going to be moving backwards on the pickleball court a lot of times, right? You come up to the net, you got to come back a little bit in that back pedal. So working backwards movement into your warm up is going to be really helpful.
Absolutely.